Today is one of the worst days that we have seen in crypto in a very long time, as the entire market has continued to fall throughout a large portion of the day. We've now seen a little bit of recovery, but still it is down massively on the week, and it is still down in a large way on the day, leaving a lot of people to wonder, what is coming next for the market? What is causing this? Where is it going to go? Should I be scared and worried? And the truth is, we have been saying, unfortunately, for a bit now, that we are in what looks like a bear market right now. We are in a market where it is more likely to fall than it is to rise when it comes to the entire crypto market. And there's only one cryptocurrency that I personally am not worried about at all, and that's Dogecoin. No matter what price Dogecoin goes to, if it falls a little bit further, if it doesn't fall further and it holds pretty strong, I'm not worried even a little bit really about Dogecoin, because we know Dogecoin has so many unbelievably massive specific catalysts that are coming for it that are pretty soon actually, that I don't really need to worry about. None of us do. Dogecoin is the one that I'm extremely confident in no matter what price it goes to. However, with the rest of our portfolios, we're going to have to be more careful because there are not as many guarantees with Bitcoin. There are not as many guarantees with Ethereum. And guarantee is a strong word. By guarantee, I just mean there are guaranteed big news events. Are they guaranteed to cause a spike? Of course not. It's never anything that's guaranteed in crypto. However, there's a very, very, very high chance that they will cause a spike. So that is what we're looking at, the high chance of it causing a spike. And that's why I'm not worried whatsoever when it comes to Dogecoin. When it comes to Bitcoin, though, we have seen a very large fall in the last 24 hours. You can take a look at this. Bitcoin down over 10%, and that's after a slight recovery, but down 19% on the week. Now, the biggest loser at the top here has been Luna, down a staggering 60% this week and a staggering 46% just in the last 24 hours alone. That is absolutely monstrous when it comes to the drop, and in large part with Terra Luna, that is because we have seen their stablecoin continuing to have a number of issues. Terra Luna stablecoin right now is not able to actually perform at the level it's supposed to perform at because it's technically tied with an algorithm that does buybacks and sells and things like that to try to make sure it's always worth $1. But in certain circumstances, it cannot keep up with that $1 amount. And right now it is down under 80 cents. And I actually did a Patreon post talking about this and a few other opportunities right now in the markets where we have seen such a large drop that a bounce back has a higher than a 50% chance of happening. So if you want to see the other two picks on there, as well as more information on Luna, you're welcome to go check out the Patreon right now. And I hope Luna goes crazy when it comes to the rebound. Now, we'll go all the way back to where it was. I do not believe that's going to happen, but we'll go back 10, 20, 30% even potentially. That is a possibility. And so that's what we're going to be looking for with that and a few other cryptos. As if it does fall that much, chance of recovery is even higher. Now, the downside here with Luna is that if they cannot fix what happened with their stablecoin, then they will continue to fall more. So there is a certain amount of risk associated with it. But if you believe in the team and if you think they can fix it, then it is not a bad bet at this current point in time. In terms of the market, Dogecoin is now ahead of Luna, by the way, at that number 11 spot. Avalanche also falling, making its way down to number 13. But Dogecoin right now with a $14 billion market cap is currently approximately double SHIB. That's crazy. Shiba Inu coin now at only a $7 billion market cap. Something that a lot of people did not expect to happen, but that right there is probably one of the biggest meme coin losers of the last 24 hours. It is actually a fact, down 21%, and I'll continue to say it. I have a lot of respect for the Shiba Inu coin community. However, the truth is, there's a reason why Shiba Inu coin has fallen so much more than Dogecoin. I mean, Shiba Inu coin passed Dogecoin for a brief amount of time. Now it's less than half the value. It's because it does not have as many wallet holders, and it does not have the same level of energy. And also another thing to keep in mind, Shiba Inu coin with a relatively recent spike actually has a lot of the tokens that are still active. Dogecoin, on the other hand, has so many tokens that are basically essentially burned because people no longer have access to them. So there's a huge percentage of the Dogecoin token base that's not even accessible, or at least has not been accessed and probably won't be, because people lost their seed phrases when it was at such a fraction of the amount it's at now that people didn't think would ever be worth anything, or maybe people passed away because that was a decent amount of time ago. So that's why someone said, show us the gains. Oh yeah, it has been going back up some, so that's a good thing. You want to see some of the gainers. I mean, there really aren't a lot of gainers at the top. I mean, let's see how far we have to scroll down to find the first gainer. Look at that, Pax dollar, still worth $1. Well, let's also see, maybe they're already starting to get the UST back under control, which is the stablecoin tied to Luna. If they are, that would be a positive development for them. Nope, they're not. It's supposed to be worth $1. Now it's worth 78 cents. Now, keep in mind, that doesn't mean you have to really worry so much about a stablecoin like Tether. You still do to some degree, or like DAI, DAI. That's another coin people use a lot. There's a lot of opportunities. If you are going to be taking your money out of the market right now and putting it into stables, do not put it all into one stable. Why? Well, there's a clear example of why right there. Move it into multiple different stables. That's the smart way to go about it. Also keep in mind that at some point you're going to have to move it to an exchange, and in order to actually take it as profits, right? And when you do that, what you're going to want to do is make sure that you have it in a stablecoin that your exchange actually accepts. So whatever exchange you plan to use to get your money out, rather than having to have an extra step of having to convert that into another stablecoin, make sure that the stablecoin you convert it to is accepted and tradable on the cryptocurrency exchange that you plan to use. An important piece of advice that a lot of people don't realize until after the first time they tried, and then they realize. So make sure you know that. Move your coins to a hardware wallet, as well, says Alex Johnson. Not a bad idea. There are a lot of options out there that are pretty dang good. Then we also have, I want to keep scrolling and see if we can find one that's gone up. I mean, it's going to be very difficult to do. I don't know how far we'll have to go to find the first one that's gone up. That's not, I mean, a stablecoin doesn't really even go up. So we'll have to keep scrolling until we find one. Now we're on page 4 already. Here we go. SSV Network up 2%. Number 307 ranking, a 2% gain for that. Not bad in this market. That's actually pretty dang good. We also skipped over page 3, it looks like. Liquidity USD, nope, that's a stablecoin. HUSD, a stablecoin. Oh, here we go. Titan Swap up 1.67%. Okay, finally, we got a couple cryptos that have gone up like 2%. Oh, here's one. Hyper-Eon. Oh, that's interesting. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. I have not seen this one yet. It's ranked at number 292 right now. Hyper-Eon, HYN, currently up 5%. Let's click on it and see why maybe it is doing that. You have to wonder. Looks like a big investor came in. I don't know exactly who that was. No one does, but it could have been, what I'm getting at with that is it could have been someone associated with the project itself. Let's go ahead and read about it here real quick and see what it is. Hypercoin is a decentralized map platform that aims to create unified global data maps and services and make it available for everyone to use. It utilizes a custom-designed spatial consensus protocol to revamp conventional map-making techniques and provide a public utility for anyone who might benefit from it. Interesting. That is kind of cool, actually. So who knows? Maybe this coin could be one of the ones that you want to take a look at in this market. And maybe I'll put some money in. Let's see what exchanges you can buy it on, because that will be key. If it's not available broadly, then it will be much harder for anyone to be able to purchase it in our community. So it looks like currently on Binance Dex. Okay, yeah, that's pretty dang hard to purchase. I don't know why it has not fallen, but whoever did this clearly playing a big role in that. I mean, I guess we do know why. That's why. We don't know the specifics of why they chose to invest, but we do know someone investing is why it didn't fall. I think pretty much any crypto that we find that has not fallen a lot in the last 24 hours will be because of a large investor coming in and saving it to some degree, who really believes in it. Rescission Time says ET1 Investments with all the heart emojis. I like the sound of that. As far as the update with Accept Crypto, what is happening right now is a document is being made, and it's taking a long time because there are hundreds of emails, right? So it's taking a long time for them to do. But once the document's finished, it's going to start, and most likely it will start with if you are currently holding your currency and also you invest a larger amount, it'll start up and then move, and ideally everyone will be reached. That's the I guess it's hard to know the exact plan because you really can't know for sure until it actually starts. But once it starts, I'll keep you as updated as possible on what the plan is and exactly how it's being implemented. So that way you know, but you should not have to wait too much longer. I know I've already said that a couple of times, but really though, you should not have to wait too much longer. Where Elon goes. We go where Elon goes, says cultural. I like the sound of that. Yes, Matt, please give 30 seconds countdown before you start. Ooh, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, maybe we could do that. I mean, it's harder because right now I am not using my typical studio. so I don't have access to the same tools to be able to do stuff like that with, say, an intro. But maybe there's a way to do it. Let me see if I can figure that out. I don't think there is an easy way, but I'm sure there's some cattywank way. Like maybe I could literally play the intro on my iPad at the beginning of the show, and then that would give us 30 seconds so you could come into live before it starts. Another thing people do is just start the live and then go scroll back and then watch it mostly live, but like a slight delay. Elon is out of money. He is buying Twitter. Well, there's some degree of truth to that too. But no, he's not out of money. He just does not have a lot of liquid cash sitting around right now. That's actually true. Why is crypto crashing, says Luis. So that's really primarily because there are people right now who have major groups, major hedge funds, major investment backing, and those people are choosing to take profits right now. There's a lot of them, and there has been over $800 million in crypto that got liquidated just in the last 24 hours alone. Now, some of that has come back in, but still, $800 million. We're talking about a huge, huge, huge chunk of money right there. And that was just towards the start, and then it went even higher than that. So we're looking at lots of big people pulling out, lots of people who in theory should be holding for the long term based on what their projections were that they were saying publicly, but they're not. They're being dishonest, and that's what they won't tell you. They will not tell you what is happening with the large investment groups, and you can see by looking at the Bitcoin chart some of these big sales coming in from top wallets. That right there needs to be talked about more and exposed more, because the more that it is talked about and exposed, the easier it will be for people who are not part of those groups to navigate the markets and still find ways to make money and avoid losses. We don't like losses very much, do we? Kathy Wood should be buying Doge, says Michael. Kathy Wood is someone who will tell you straight to your face that she's going to buy a stock and then sell it the next day. I've seen her do it multiple times. I don't know why. It seems like a lot of people really like Kathy Wood. I did like her. I mean, especially because she and Elon Musk seem to have a good relationship. I did like her until I started seeing that. Now, I will give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it was someone else within ARK Invest that did that. Maybe it wasn't actually her. Maybe she didn't know about that and it happened anyway. But she literally said she believes Tesla stock is going to go to some insane number and then sold the day after. That's clear manipulation. That's an example right there of someone who doesn't care about the ordinary investor. I mean, this is someone who already has hundreds of millions of dollars as her net worth, and yet she has to do a practice like that. Why? I mean, ARK Invest has gone down a lot, the price of it, so maybe that's why. Maybe she's feeling out of her position here. Maybe she just wants to join the $1 billion club. I don't know, but I don't think that that's the proper way to handle it. What she should be doing is just simply letting people know your actual thoughts on it. That's what you should do. And if you have a thought that you don't want to share, then don't share it. It's not that complicated, Kathy Wood. The entire system is rigged. Now, there's some degree of truth to that, but fortunately, it's only rigged to a certain extent. There can be manipulation within a certain range, but overall, the growth of the market upwards cannot be manipulated that much. It will grow over time. We will see another major spike again, and that they can't stop that no matter how hard they try. They just simply can't. Good Doge, says, what the heck was that? Good Doge, says Enrique. I need to try out for Kids Bop now. Matt, when is the new crypto pick, says Joseph. Yes, there is a crypto pick that is coming on Patreon, and it is most likely going to be less than a month from now, but I'm not the one launching it, and so I do not get to decide when it does launch. However, I do plan to be influencing it and being part of it, and I want to, so just to give some background on this, this is a project that I actually think, because of the people behind it, some of the most influential people in the entire crypto space who have been behind $1 billion projects in the past, they are the ones that are behind this. And so when you have that kind of leadership, and they also, it's not just that we say that and then they're never going to be revealed. No, they're planning to go public with this at some point soon, as they're the ones behind it. Right now, they've been pitching influencers on it and saying, hey, we're the ones behind this. So influencers already know. There's a lot of high-profile people who already know who's behind it, and so the information is going to get out at some point. They might as well. I've been telling them, hey, you might as well just say, hey, here we are. And I think it'll be really cool. And keep in mind too, they are also figuring out ways with the legal system in the United States. You have to be careful because you don't know what the government's going to do, and so they have to be a little bit careful there. And so because of that, there may be some type of organization that takes away risk, so we don't know exactly what's going to happen with it. But regardless of all of that, those are probably extra details you don't even really care about. The only thing that matters is this is a project that after being launched could potentially go to over it could reach $1 billion market cap. That's not impossible with the level of people on this and behind it. It could reach $1 billion. That's not out of the question. Now, a realistic price target for it, maybe a little bit less than that, but still, that's the high upside. That's why it's an exciting pick. And so if you buy into one of these projects early and it goes to $1 billion, I mean, you can change your life from something like that. You really can't. That's why it's exciting, and I certainly hope this is one of the biggest wins we've ever had in the history of our group. I'm excited for it. Anyway, I'm Matt Wallace. This is Final Stand, and I will see you in the next video.